want to get your thoughts, Andy, on this controversy surrounding the 28 classified pages from the 9/11 report. President Obama is in Saudi Arabia right now, as many are calling for the release of these pages. They say that they show a connection with the country, the government of Saudi Arabia, and the attacks. You, of course, were with then-President Bush on that fateful day. You went and you whispered in his ear. Many remember that iconic image of you whispering in the president's ear while he was in the classroom. You told him that moment when he was with the kids that America was just attacked. Your thoughts on these 28 pages, which the president said he has a sense of, but he hasn't really read.
Well, I was in that iconic photograph. I am not an iconic person, but the photograph did define an era.
It sure did.
However, the president of the United States is obligated to do what is in the best interest of the national security concerns of this country. And those kinds of documents that are secret for a reason probably impact our national security, and I think it's legitimate for the president to decide what should be in the public domain and what should not be in the context of protecting our diplomatic interests, our security interests, and everything else. So I'm not going to comment on what might be in the report or might not be, but I respect the burden that the president has, and I think he is the one right now. We only have one president at a time, and President Obama is our president now, whether we like it or not. And he may not do the things that I think he should be doing, but he's our president, so and I'm going to exercise the restraint to say he's got the responsibility. He's carrying a big burden. If he doesn't want to release them, then he shouldn't be released.
How would you characterize our relationship then with Saudi Arabia? I mean, so many issues to discuss. The Saudis are threatening, look, if that 28 pages comes out and there's a bill that goes forward that puts responsibility on the part of the Saudi government for the 9/11 attacks, they will move to disrupt the American economy and the American markets. They have threatened. They said, we're going to sell $750 billion in U.S. securities. Then there's the oil story, Dagen McDowell. You've made this point a lot that, you know, what is going on with the shale revolution in the Saudis? Are they trying to put these companies out of business?
Yes, they're trying to put our companies out of business. That's exactly, I mean, they are used, the oil is a weapon.
Yeah.
And their manipulation of the oil market is a weapon to put us back on our heels, because more oil we produce, the more valuable this country is and the safer we are.
So, and then Matt Murray, there's the oil story, right? They're controlling the price. So, Andy, what's your take on these issues around the Saudis in the U.S.?
Well, first of all, OPEC has frequently tried to manipulate the oil market, if you will, specifically to address some of the challenges that the United States gives them in terms of the oil market. And I don't like that. I don't like manipulating the national and international economies by doing those things. But I also know that our relationship with Saudi Arabia is critically important for the national security interests of this country. It's not just about oil. It's also about leadership in the Middle East. And it's critical that we have a respectful, trusting relationship with the Saudis. We don't agree with them on a lot of things. We don't agree with them the way they treat women. We don't agree with them the way they really don't practice democracy in Saudi Arabia. But we have a diplomatic relationship with them that is critical to our national security, and they are important, very, very important allies in that region.
Real quick,
so
does the relationship
I think the president
get worse?
has to balance that.
Does the relationship get worse if Donald Trump is the president? Very quickly, Andy.
Well, I hope it would work, because the President of the United States has to think more than just about, you know, yelling and screaming or motivating passions. The President has to be cool, calm, collected, and deliberate, and be not only a leader for the United States, but a leader for the free world. And sometimes being a leader of the free world means you have to meet with people whose total values you don't agree with, but you respect.
All right, Andy, we will leave it there. Thanks so much for your insights. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you. Thank you. John Paul, good to be with you.
JP.
All right.
Giving you a shout out there,
All right,
JP.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andy. We'll see you soon, sir.